Joining us at the Leon Loft today as we start another 5 years, Sam Beam, Iron and Wine.
Thank you. Thanks, Rob. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for having me, Rob.
Oh, thanks for coming.
All right, this is a song off of a record I did called Beast Epic. It's Thomas County Law. You've been there. Thomas County Law's got a crooked tooth. Every traffic light is red when it tells the truth. The judge bell isn't kidding when he cries for you. Nobody looks away when the sun goes down. Thomas County Road takes you where it will. Someone's singing on the far side of other hills, and there's nowhere safe to bury all the time I've killed. Nobody looks away when the sun goes down. There's a couple ways to cross Thomas County line. The trees, they're too tall and wide, and I never seem to see around my brother's wife. Nobody looks away when the sun goes down. There are castles for kings, there are birds without wings. I could whine about it all, but I won't. Thomas County Law's got a crooked tooth. There ain't a mother with a heart less than black and blue. When they hold 'em to the light, you can see right through. Every dreamer falls asleep in their dancing shoe. I may say I don't belong here, but I know I do. Nobody looks away when the sun goes down. Nobody looks away when the sun goes down. Thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks a lot.
This makes me so happy. It really does. Really, it is so great to see you again.
You too, Rob.
Listen, so Beast Epic, I was still listening. I love that record so much. I was still listening to it.
Yeah, great
a few
taste,
weeks
man.
ago. Yeah, listen, a few weeks ago, this new chapter arrives, and I was like, wait, I'm not done with this one yet. So, Weed Garden, the new EP. There are so many reasons why a song might not be ready, even if you want it to be. But it's working on its own timeline, right?
That's right.
What was it about the songs on here, save for the one that was around before, that just they weren't right for Beast Epic?
It's hard to say. I mean, sometimes you have a more fixed idea, a really specific idea of like a thematic through line. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're just guessing and hoping for the best. This one, I also like short records. So some of it was, I was fighting to get some of these songs on the record, and it just felt a little bit too long, so you start skimming the fat. Some of them there was a simplicity to some of the songs that made it on Beast Epic some of these just, Rob, I wish I had a good answer for you, but I just really don't. It's kind of just a fishing in the dark kind of a thing.
I think you just kind of got to it right there. Sometimes
yeah, and some of them just weren't finished.
Yeah, musically or lyrically.
Both. Okay. Yeah, some of them we started in the studio and just didn't get a version that we really believed in, or just fit. Because a song can have lots of different lives. You make a version of it, and hopefully it fits in the sequence somewhere. Because I like records that have like a little journey.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what I was talking about. We've all sort of taken this journey with you, album to album. And actually over 15, 16 years or so, I mean...
So old.
Don't get me going down that particular pathway. But I mean, you've put a lot of songs out into the world. I mean,
yeah, too many songs.
No, not too many songs. But I mean, I'm wondering if every set of songs presents you with this same dilemma. That you have the 9, 10, 6, whatever it's going to be on the actual CD or EP. But then there's always something that just doesn't fit.
Yeah. And sometimes you leave it on and just see what happens. And sometimes you make, but all these decisions, these creative decisions, they're subjective decisions. It's easy to look in hindsight and say, well, that was right, or man. But at the time, just like writing a song, you don't know. You just do what feels right at the moment. I mean, the thematically in Beast Epic, a lot of them had to do with like this frailty, but also an honesty about just life experiences. Life can be hard, but it's also really beautiful if you are up for the challenge or up for change. And these, they were in the same ballpark. Sometimes they didn't say it quite as succinctly, or maybe they were too succinct. I don't know. They just didn't quite fit. It also has a lot to do with, just like I said, making a short record. When you get some that are working well in a sequence, and you're trying to shove these other ones in, sometimes you just give up, and I gave up.
Do you want to do one of those?
Yeah, let's do this. This is an older one. I did a record called Ghost on Ghost, and this one kind of popped up at the end of that little writing cycle, and I tried to put it on this Beast Epic one, but it didn't seem to be speaking like the other songs. But I've been playing it for a while. Doesn't mean I won't mess it up, but at the same time, this is called The Waves of Galveston. Leave the waves of Galveston, but only if you can, 'cause you've been hid behind the seawall, gently folded in the sand. Papa left you for heaven after your mama lost her song, and though your baby left you for Houston, no one stays there very long. There's a graveyard by the pizza parlor, a gate that only closes. Snowbirds fly away like secrets no one really wants to know. The climbing moon's always shining on the kind of shells you keep. The broken horse tied to the water tower's running in his sleep. It's too bad that you ain't got a soul place to fall. It's too bad Texas leans to the least of us all and says
music, then you can have the dance. If you can shoot the pistol, then you can wear the pants. Galveston, but only if you can, 'cause it's the only place the Lone Star kind of offered you a hand. Your baby left you nothing but a dog she left for dead. You never knew you were a burden till it hit you on the head. It's too bad that you ain't got a soft place to fall. And it's too bad Texas leans to the least in us all and says, if you can make the music, then you can have the dance. If you can shoot the pistol, you can wear the pants.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
For those listening live at the moment, we are at the Leon Loft with Iron and Wine. Sam Beam, you are listening to Ann Arbor's 107.1, and we miss you. But it would be nice if you could be here, but you can't. It's a very full room. I'm glad you played that one. And as you said, that has been around for a while. And for those who've seen you recently in the last several years, we might recognize that song. And that one was ready.
Yeah.
There wasn't a project for it, but it was ready and road tested, and you had a chance to play it for live people and see the response. Is that ultimately like the best way to know if something is ready?
It certainly helps. But right for what, you know? I mean, depends. Right. You know, I just like the activity of making songs, and so having new songs to sing is fun. It's just the activity I like to do. So you just keep them rolling. Hopefully.
Do you like to see that response from? I mean, everybody likes to see, you know, applause or whatever for what it is they do. I mean, everybody should be so lucky that they can take the latest thing that they were working on and show it to people and have them applaud.
It is a nice thing about being a songwriter. You know, playing music. The response is pretty immediate. You know, who gets to do that except, you know, if you're a cook or something. You know, most people work on things for a long time. So that is a fringe benefit, that's for sure. I mean, you know, sometimes it doesn't go over as well as you would hope, but it is immediate.
Well, well, I was going to say, I mean, it does cut both ways. But then there's that variable. It might be a bad audience.
That's right. I like to blame them.
That's right.
Usually that's the way it goes. But it also just sort of suits. I have a short attention span, a little impatient sometimes, so it suits me pretty well.
Weed Garden sits alongside some other great EPs. You've done a whole series of EPs to go alongside. I always think of them as mini albums. I mean, I see them that way, or I hear them that way. Thematically, maybe like Woman King or In the Range that you did with Calexico. You know, sonically speaking, like they're mini albums. And you just were saying that, like, you kind of like making a shorter statement.
I do. You can make something a little more. I don't know. I say I have a short attention span. A record is hard to listen to. You know what I mean? Who has a? It's a shame to say, but who has like an hour in the day to just sit and listen to a record? And so, you know, maybe 15, 20 minutes I can ask. And so, but it's also in between. They feel transitional, and they feel a little less committal, but in a good way. Like you can take chances because the way promotional cycles work. It's not going to get that much attention. You're not going to have to make excuses or explanations. You can just wait. It's a way to experiment and try on new things that you can use for another larger campaign. I love it.
Yeah, I like that they, as you say, there's sort of an interim step between longer pieces, like this one. So each one always, to me, gets kind of caught up in the time in which it arrives. This time, in this year, and just in the year since I've seen you last, I mean, turbulent times. It's just turbulent times. And I heard this is very kind of peaceful and themes about home and comfort.
Yeah.
And taking comfort in these things familiar, but also being willing to sort of push forward and do new stuff.
Yeah.
In a short statement, like this is what we needed now.
Oh, well, that's nice to hear.
I felt.
I mean, I feel like a lot of the themes that inspire me to put the pen to the paper are not really dependent on what's happening. They're hopefully universal, or there's kind of always, I mean, who doesn't like to go home, whether the politics are kooky or not, how divisive the culture is becoming. I mean, most of the things that make me want, I don't know, I mean, maybe I could someday be inspired by political things, but I don't know. There seems to be a lot to, they just make me close down, really. You know what I mean? It doesn't make me want to put the pen to the paper. But, like being hungry or being lonely or being, happy about something that is going on in your life, those do. But I'm just not, I don't know, I'd be terrible at public policy. So
I don't know.
It's hard to make everybody happy. Everybody's got an idea about how things are supposed to work.
What would you like to do next?
This song is called Call It Dreaming. It's off that Beast Epic record.
Say it's here where our pieces fall in place. And it rains softly kisses us on the face. Any wind means we're running. We can sleep and see him coming. Where we drift and call it dreaming. We can weep and call it singing. Where we break 'cause our hearts are strong enough. We can bow 'cause our music's warmer than blood. Where we see enough to follow. We can hear when we are hollow. Where we keep the light we're given. We can lose and call it living. Where the sun isn't only sinking fast. Every night knows how long it's supposed to last. Where the time of our lives is all we have. We get a chance to say before we ease away. For all the love you left behind, you can have mine. Say It's here where our pieces fall in place. We can feel, 'cause the feeling's fine to betray. Where our water isn't hidden, we can burn and be forgiven. Where our hands hurt from healing, we can laugh without a reason. 'Cause the sun isn't only sinking fast. Any moon and our bodies make shining glass. 'Cause the time of our lives is all we have, and we get a chance to say before we ease away, for all the love you left behind, you can have mine.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thanks a lot.
Wow. Thank you so much. Listen, we're going back to the station now, and we're going to continue on here for a couple minutes with Iron and Wine Sam Beam here at the Leon Loft. He has a brand new EP out, by the way. It is called Weed Garden. Goes along very nicely with Beast Epic, the album that came out last year. He is playing a sold-out show tonight at the Michigan Theater. You can catch the full interview that we are doing here on Acoustic Café in the weeks ahead. And we have been brought to you today by Ceci Mazda. And now, back to more music on Ann Arbor's 107.1. Great.
Thanks, everybody.
That's a clean out. That's called a clean out. Just
Bam.
out. All right. It's interesting. You played that song, and I happened to notice that you've rearranged it and you've changed the tempo.
It's Friday.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, it sounds great in the new arrangement. I like that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Which also, as you were playing, it made me think that the songs, they breathe and they change and they roll.
They should.
Right?
Sometimes they don't. But they should. They should, yeah.
You find out things on stage when you take these things out, and depending on who you're playing. Who are you playing with tonight? Is it a full band or is it solo?
It is a full band, yeah. It's a 5-piece. Sebastian Steinberg playing the bass, Eliza Hardy-Jones on the keyboard, the drummer Beth Goodfellow, it's really fun, and then a cello player named Helen Gillet.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so that gives you lots of opportunities to change things in Sebastian Steinberg.
I think that's what I look for, though, as far as like every ensemble, it should, we should play it the way that we play it instead of regurgitating records is not fun.
Yeah, right. Did you think for a while that you were supposed to?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I was wrong. I mean, I feel like, you play the spirit, and some you play closer to the records and some you really take chances on, because I like to, I don't think I'm alone. A lot of people like to treat them like a script. And so, anytime you have the same script with a different group of actors on a different stage, you should be able to see other things with it, bring out other parts of the play.
Yeah. As I mentioned in the intro, it goes back a long way. A lot of people. Does anybody remember 2002 in this room? Y'all remember?
Math is hard, Rob.
It's a long time ago. You had been writing songs, for years before we all heard them.
Yeah.
As a very personal thing for yourself and others in your immediate circle, maybe, to hear them.
Yeah,
actually, did you? Were you sharing them with?
Yeah, with my friends. Yeah, it was a hobby.
Okay.
But, yeah, it was fun.
Does it change any now that you know that there are people people who are waiting to hear what you have to say next. Does it change it at all? Does it cross your mind, or is it still the same exact pursuit?
It's pretty similar. I mean, obviously I want people to enjoy it, but I'm not usually willing to change it to make sure that they do. Fortunately for me, I had the benefit of going to an art school where, you get used to critiques and they get being ripped apart for no good reason. And so I got pretty familiar with what expectation or criticism are worth, as far as when you apply it to your own personal trajectory and your own process. I like it when people like it, but I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to anticipate what people like, because usually what they've liked in my stuff has caught me totally up by surprise.
Really?
So I can't really repeat it. You just keep working, do the best you can, and hope for the best, really.
Words to live by. Well, listen, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you.
I know you have a busy day, a busy schedule, and a show tonight. Y'all up for one more?
Yeah?
Yeah?
All right.
All right. You can, it's wide open, whatever you'd like to do.
All right. This is what's that? Oh, I thought you said popcorn. It's like, I love James Brown, man. Play popcorn. All right, this is a newer one. It's called Autumn Town Leaves. It's off that this new business. Oh man, so my EQ got all messed up.
And this autumn town where the leaves can fall on either side of the garden wall, we laugh all night to keep the embers blowing. Some are leaping free from their moving cars, stacking stones round their broken hearts, waving down any wind that might come blowing. Mice move out when the field is cut, serpents curl when the sun comes up, songbirds only end up where they're going. Some get rain, some get snow, some want love and some want gold. I just wanna see you in the morning. Dogs lay down in the evening heat, and fish do worse when they leave the sea. Songbirds only end up where they're going. In this autumn town where the lights can change, some get mercy and some get blame. Some get lost when they feel the river flowing. It's all holy smoke and the flame dies fast. We hold our hats while the days fly past. Cold wind comes and we wave, but it keeps going. Fathers, sons, and Holy Ghosts all come back or they all come close. Songbirds only end up where they're going. Some get hard, some go home. Some want flesh and some want bone. I just wanna see you in the morning. I just wanna see you in the morning.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks so much. It's a pretty one. Thank you.